Discord stream.
Oh, that's a boxy tank.
Well, technically it's not a tank, it's a pepper box carrier.
It's a tank. It's a big vehicle with camo color and has some weapons on top.
This
It's a tank.
this explains so much about why I see people calling stuff tanks. They see a vehicle with military camouflage and something that maybe vaguely resembles a weapon, and the only thing that they can think of is a tank.
Tink tink.
Oh,
Oh, I should make. You know how I want to do the camouflage toggle on my new model? I should put a gun on my head and then be like, I'm a tank.
do it. Hello, Briar.
Hello. Tink tink. Is it only a tank if it has like the what are those wheels called? The
You're
the
thinking
long
of
wheels.
you're thinking of tracks.
Chainsaw wheels.
No, they're tank tracks.
Chainsaw wheels.
Traditionally speaking, I would be very much inclined to call something not using tank tracks a tank. I wouldn't call... I would generally say yes, a tank should exclusively be using tank tracks of some kind. And the purpose of a tank is, generally speaking, to fight other armoured vehicles and entrenched positions. If it's designed to fight something else, there's a strong likelihood it's not a tank.
Hold on. According to Oxford Languages, the definition of a tank is a heavy armored fighting vehicle carrying guns and moving on a continuous articulated metal track.
Yeah, that's generally right, I'd say. I think the purpose and types of weapon systems carried by said vehicle are also important towards the designation of what is and isn't a tank. You could have an armoured personnel carrier that runs on tracks. It is technically armoured, although not armoured against the weapons a tank would use, but it's not a tank.
Well, I think I'm just gonna continue to call everything that's...
I kind of assumed that would be... I assumed that would be the case, yes.
Can't stop, won't stop. Who's attacking you?
An organization called the New Paradigm.
Is this like every other RTS game where you just build a thing and the thing builds some things and then...
What do you mean by every other RTS game? How many have you played? I was gonna say, then probably not, no. This functions quite differently.
But it looks the same! Look at all your little vehicles. I mean, I watched the PlayStation showcase yesterday.
Oh yeah.
And almost every game looked the same to me because it was like, a shooter, a shooter, a shooter.
Was there really that many shooters? I don't think there was.
Yes, there were. Everything is. I mean, one was a shooter where your hand was the gun, but it's still a shooter.
Yeah, but didn't
Just
they have?
because you package it differently.
Didn't they have stuff like Dragon's Dogma, which is not a shooter?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there are some. I mean, yeah. I just complained about like I think the first 3 were shooters, and I was watching with Rocco, and I was like, oh, all those shooters. And it's like, no, they're PlayStation also has RPGs. So I was like, oh, okay.
Apparently you're coming through quiet.
Oh, Max gotta fix
I
that.
don't... Oh, here we go. Use volume. There we go. Turn you up a bit.
Ah!
God.
Noodles, noodles. I love some instant noodles. Hey, your unit is under attack.
I know. Crazy that.
Hey, your unit is under attack.
I know. Crazy that.
Hey, your unit is under attack.
Okay, Elfie, I'm gonna kick you out of the call if you keep this up.
Okay. Hey, your unit. Okay. Well, why is she allowed to keep saying it?
So I literally cannot stop her.
Damn. Pew, 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 pew. Hey, when are we gonna do the next collab for Beyond Our Reason?
I don't know. We can do one next week if you'd like.
I would like that, because watching you play this game makes me want to play that game.
Let's turn down Spotify a little.
Oh, that poor little thing that you're shooting.
Well, I need it, so...
It's me!
It do be an Elfie.
Speaking of which, I should finally continue to do the thing.
The thing?
The drawing.
Ah. Sounds like a good idea.
Hey, I drew some more ruffles. I think I finally drew all the ruffles that I have. Ooh. Oops. Did you know that you cannot draw with an eraser?
Ruffles, potato chips? No, Elfie's talking about like art, like she was drawing something.
Like ruffles on a dress.
Hmm. Oh, yes, right. You know, that does actually... No, that chassis still fits the light can. It's... You need a larger chassis. You need the larger chassis. You need the larger chassis. So do you. So do you.
My instant noodles make the noise, the same noise as in that one vine, where like the mother is making noodles.
Oh, that sounds like good. That sounds like good pussy.
Yeah. Ahmed!
Where's the heavy repair tower? Or have I not finished researching it yet? I haven't finished researching it yet. Okay.
Walkers?
Where have I not got? No, the company Lays is under the name Walkers in the UK.
Lays. Wait, Lays belongs to Pepsi?
Yes. PepsiCo is one of the largest, among the largest, like corporations in terms of like the amount of stuff that they work with.
Yeah, I feel like these days it's almost impossible to like boycott anything because everything they're like 3 companies that own everything.
Yeah, pretty much. You're not wrong there.
So I always think it's more important to like talk to politicians and be like, hey, maybe change the law about these stuff so that these companies can't do horrible things. I also wonder how many big VTubers, how many big YouTubers are all like under the same management team.
Probably quite a few of them. Depends on like where you're looking, I guess.
At least with VTubers, it's very transparent which VTuber belongs to which company.
What was your frame of reference?
Hololive, Niji Sanji. You know how VTubers are like they put the company in the name. Like normal
right.
YouTubers don't say like I have the same like management team. But what's called multi-channel network or something?
Oh yeah, MCNs. They used to. Like when Machinima and Maker, stuff like that, when they were all a thing.
Yeah. I still think it's a thing because Drew Gooden once made a video about like VTuber. I keep mixing up YouTuber and VTuber. YouTuber books. And like how every YouTuber seems to do things at the same time. Like suddenly every YouTuber is releasing a book, and suddenly every YouTuber is doing music, and suddenly every YouTuber is going on tour and stuff like that. You miss Machinima? Weren't they like kinda like shitty to their
I was gonna say, like, you might miss their content, you sure don't miss their business practices.
Yeah. There's our typhoon.
What?
Someone just tweeted, please be safe everyone, the typhoon is really bad.
Maybe in, like, the Pacific, I guess, at the moment? I don't know. I haven't heard any Americans talking about it, so I guess it's something going on the other side of the world.
Volt typhoon. Chinese cyber something. Oh, in the US?
Really? Where?
Typhoon Mawa flips cars, cuts power on Guam. A scope of damage emerges in US Pacific territory.
Damn.
Hmm. So now why do you always make such a mess?
She's Bunny.
She's Bunny. There is hay everywhere.
She can become Bunny, chewer of worlds.
Well, she's currently chewing on hay, so you know. I guess she's chewing on something she's supposed to chew on.
I like you have your little mecha turtles separated into little families. Wait, what do you mean?
Bottle. Who's making a mess?
How did you get through?
I think Mika's having the zoomies.
Nyum.
Hi Mika, do you have the zoomies? Okay, zoomies are over. So funny when they like run around a bunch and then suddenly stop and flop over and then like, okay, I rest now.
Energy has hit 0. Ha! Got him. It's going to be a while before I can use them, but I do like using the new Paradigm chassis for VTOLs.
The what for what?
As you go through the campaign, you unlock the ability to reverse engineer and recreate the chassis of enemy vehicles, and the ones for the faction I'm currently fighting against, the new Paradigm, work quite well as VTOL chassis, but I'm not going to get VTOL tech for quite some time.
Ah. I understood like half of that.
That's fine.
Yeah. No, Mika, you can continue chewing on that. That was Juno's chewing cardboard. You're allowed to chew on that. I think she understood what I said because she turned around and continued chewing.
Yeah.
The little tank are like locusts.
I think
Small, green, and everywhere.
I think Locust is one of the chassis types because I just researched. Where is it? Hang on. I just researched the bug chassis.
Bug?
Bug.
Does not look like a bug.
Well, it's called bug. Because this was one of the first RTSs that let you kind of, to a moderately limited but still pretty freeform extent, design your own army, basically. It gave you a whole load of different parts that you can mix and match, and then you can name them whatever you want, so you can, like, sort of have your own sort of design philosophy for how you want your army to look.
That's neat.
The only other game I can think of that did that was Earth 2160, and that was actually more limited than this was. I need a forward set of sensor towers. Oh, bollocks. Wait, where? How? Why? You dickhead. Restarted Elden Ring, chose Warrior, the Night Looking Dude, have a much better time. Astrologer kept getting your ass kicked when you ran out of faith. Ah, okay. Yeah, I'd generally say, like, the melee-focused classes are a little easier to get into as a new player for Soulsborne games. The ranged options tend to be for more advanced players. Like, people that have been through the game at least once, maybe twice.
I think I had the opposite, where I started with a sword and then restarted and chose
Oh, really?
magic. Yeah. Oh wait, or did I pick like a
Might have picked like a mixed thingy. What was it called? Like where you do magic and have a sword?
What, sword spell?
I don't remember.
Okay, fixed emplacements are just asking to get destroyed.
Okay, noodles are finished. Back to work. Work.
Ah.
Wah! Real.
Yeah, running away being a good option is definitely one of the things that Elden Ring has over Dark Souls to an extent. Like, Dark Souls has some, like, branching options where it's like you don't necessarily have to choose the immediate route, but Elden Ring, because it's open world, literally is just like, you can go do something else for a while.
Mm. Oh. Oh, shoot. Oh no, wait.
Oh, the Tree Sentinel? He's not so bad once you've like got a read on his patterns. The only downside is if you're trying to take him on very, very early, then it can.
You're fucked.
Well, it's just a case of your mistakes cost you more because you don't have the health or the armor to take the hits if you make a mistake. So it's like if you're trying it at a lower level run, then not only are your mistakes more costly, but it takes just generally longer because you don't have like a good weapon to do damage with. Whereas if you come back a bit later when you're a bit more buffed up and you've got some decent gear, like he's not that tough because the mistakes don't cost you nearly as much, and you can get him down lower health faster. Let me go upgrade that factory. Where's my... There you are. What are you doing over there? Okay, once I hit the unit limit cap, I'm just going to go steamroll them. Some dickhead had notions above his station and got mortared into oblivion. Let's take down these old machine gun towers because they're not really going to do much in the face of the current enemy.
Did nobody, while beta testing this game, was like, you know, that voice constantly telling everything that happens is kind of annoying?
Well, I mean, I don't know, because this game would have technically been beta tested in, like, 1996 or so. So I don't really know what the original beta testing would have been like, and I would have to assume that the overwhelming majority of beta testing for the open source port would have been making sure that the fucking game worked. Because they were trying to make something from, like, a very, very long time ago work on systems just straight up not designed for that. It's kind of a... I don't know how much of this game is in a, like, a ship of Theseus kind of situation of, like, how much of it has been replaced by new code and how much of it is original. Like, is it a remake, even though it looks functionally identical to how it did nearly 30 years ago?
Your unit chose McDonald's.
Good choice. Because I saw a PC Gamer article refer to this as a remake, and my initial thought was, it's not really a remake. But then, like, I don't know, is it? Because there's...
Maybe the code was remade, and it's literally just the assets that,
Well, that's the thing, is, like, I don't know if the assets were remade as well, so that they would be of a higher fidelity for newer systems, even though the aesthetic is the same. So it's that weird, like, grey line of... Normally when I think of a remake, I think of something that's built using, like, higher fidelity assets and visually looks different, like it has a different aesthetic because it's running on a newer engine or something like that. But this does, for the most part, look exactly the same. It's just a little clearer and a little sharper in places because, obviously, you're meant to be playing this on upwards of 4K nonsense monitors and shit. An upgraded port, I guess, but I mean, the game came out on Windows. This is still running on Windows. I don't know if it counts as a port. It was ported to the PlayStation. That's actually where I played it first. Played it on a fucking PlayStation.
My bunny consumes so much salad.
Have you seen the picture of my fridge?
Yes.
Usually I run out after a few days, so this week I bought more, so now my fridge looks like this. But like I got them yesterday, and I'm like one of the like things is already almost empty.
God.
Come here, Gino. Come here.
Yeah, I suppose it's not
But that's
bad for her in any way.
no, and it's I think it's because I don't feed that many pellets, so instead I feed her fresh greens. So like I feed her more greens than I need to, but you know, it's not bad.
I was gonna say, like, I can't imagine being in a position where you're overfeeding her greens, because like it doesn't.
No, because in the nature they literally just eat greens, so
Yeah.
it's more like I'm doing more than the bare minimum.
Yeah. All mortars. Good sitting out in the open.
Also, it helps that Juno has a pretty good digestion.
Hmm.
Because sometimes when you introduce like new vegetables to a bunny, they like, you know, can't handle it.
Yeah.
They have like never eaten it before. But so far she like everything I've given her she could handle. I mean, she also ate drywall with no problem, so at this point I don't know if there's anything that would actually cause her problems. One day we'll all be gone, and there will only be Juno on the throne of animal bones being worshipped as a chaos deity and give offerings of carrot greens and raw meat. You know what? I know she likes cat food, but I've never tried to offer her like the raw chicken heart that I feed my snakes. I wonder if she would want to
God.
eat those.
I mean, can rabbits eat meat? They meant to?
They can eat it, they can't digest it.
Oh.
So it's literally just nothing in their digestive. So I need to make sure that she like doesn't get too much cat food. Please don't give your rabbit the taste of blah blah. No, I don't plan to. I was just curious if she would want to. Oh, I don't think she would, because I like sit on the ground when I feed Faye, and Juno will come and like sit next to me to see if I have anything for her, but like she's never tried to steal the food.
Ah. Hey,
Rabbits
distractions.
for the rabbit god. I don't know if Juno would try to eat other rabbits.
Oh my god. Nightmare nightmare scenario.
I mean, that's another reason I'm scared to get a second rabbit, even though, you know, you're supposed to have multiple rabbits, but she's so territorial. I don't know. She's friends with cats, that's enough.
I was gonna say, she's never tried to, like, fight the cats, so...
No, she tries to cuddle with them, but the cats are like, are you gonna attack me? And then they go away, and then Juno is like, oh. Aww. But I've posted plenty of pictures of Juno, like, napping next to a cat.
Hmm.
Also, now that it's warm again, she started flopping again, so, like, exposing her stomach. It's like, damn, you really trust all of us enough to expose your weak point. I always get a little bit emotional when animals trust you enough to expose their weakest point to you. But Juno does that with 2 cats around, so like...
Yeah.
You ain't scared of nothing. Only being picked up. Don't pick her up if you want
Ooh,
that.
what artifact did I get? Mini rockets and medium cannons.
Mini rocket.
And improved base materials.
You smell good. Oh fuck, I just remembered what I dreamt last night.
Go on.
I had a dream that somehow Juno had babies, and one of the babies was like blue and one of them was red, and they had like, they look like those troll toys that have like a bunch of hair on top, and like the baby rabbits had like a bunch of hair that on their back that just stuck up and was like very vibrant red and blue. And I just was like, what
the fuck?
Very bizarre.
I think the last dream I remember was I feel like I was somewhere that I've been before on the island of Tenerife, when my grandparents used to have a house, except it was like a much bigger city on the coast, and we were there with family, I think, and like other friends, and then the city got hit by a nuclear missile and I had to try and help people out of rubble.
Max, I think you're playing too many brutal video games.
I had to like tell people don't look directly at the blast because you'll go blind.
That's good to know.
Ooh, anti-tank rockets, bunker buster rockets. Fuck yes. Right, well my first attack has come to an end. There we go. Yeah, I pulled it. Is Bob responsible? I don't think so.
It isn't Bri usually the one yelling about nukes?
Yes. When I unlock medium cannon tech, or if I not finish researching that? Oh, I'm not finished researching it. That's fine. No, you weren't yelling about anything now. This is stuff you've yelled about before. I need to somehow improve my power generation, but I don't really have any options right now. Oh, bollocks. Hey, medium cannons are now available. I can actually make proper tanks. Well, actually, semi-proper tanks, because I've not yet got full tank tracks yet. Crap. Didn't think they'd come right out the gate. a small chassis. Yeah, that kind of does. See how much this costs me, because I think I'm gonna go bankrupt pretty fucking quick. Hey, Bob!
Hi, Barb.
How you doing today, Bob?
I just hit layer 200 on my VTuber model.
Oh my god. Frightening.
And I haven't even... And that's just all the base, like, I haven't even done that much shading yet, so, you know.
Exhausted, I bet.
Yeah, didn't you stay up all night? Barb, please get some sleep.
Am I gonna get more mortars? Why are my
Get
mortars
your
cute?
sleep.
Oh, here we go, now they're cute. And yes, Bob, please sleep.
Oh, now talking about sleep makes me sleepy, but I have been sleeping too much lately.
Oh.
But I have a weird sleeping schedule where I go to bed at like midnight, and then when the sun rises, all my pets think, the sun is up, we need to be fed. And usually the cats, they can wait. Juno cannot. Like, she will run around in circles on top of me until I feed her. And then when I'm standing, I'm like, okay, might as well feed the cats as well. And then I'm awake. And then after a while, I'm like, actually I'm sleepy. And then I sleep some more. And then I wake up at like noon. This is really... Oh. Sorry, my cuddling schedule is full of animals. My bed is small and it's already taken on by 2 cats and a bunny. Oh, speaking of, I haven't had on, and I need to cuddle my snake, but take my snake out for handling training.
You gotta get used to them noodles fighting back.
Where is Lamia? You're not Oh, there you are. Hi, big girl.
Oh, you big.
Oh no, big power deficit. Fuck.
I have a big girl.
Is that Faye?
No, the second big. It's Lamia.
Ah!
And she's getting really uppity. Like, Ophelia, if I hold her, she's like, oh, I'm baby. And she will, like, stay still for a while before she turns wiggly. But Lamia is, like, at the stage where she's just always wiggly, because she's a big girl now. I probably could put her in the big girl enclosure soon. So big. And thick. And also, if I separate them, it would give Ophelia a chance to catch up. Because I have a feeling that Lamia likes to steal food. Because she has a big appetite. Ophelia is a little more introverted. Isn't that right, honey? Yeah, you are a girl. Well, Quill. Oh, baby Quill. When did I even get these babies? Anyone remember when I first started posting about the babies?
Must have been at least like the first 6 months after your debut, I think. It was in that time period you got them, I think.
But really?
Hmm.
That longer? Hold on, let me just go to my search for Lamia. Oh! Yes, since yesterday I've had them for a year.
Wait, where?
Yesterday was the 1 year anniversary since I got them.
Oh wow, really? I thought it was longer.
I thought it was shorter. So you guys are already over a year old, huh? Didn't even realize. How
Do they get a
fast
party?
time can go.
Bob, you must have followed me shortly before my 1 year anniversary then, I think. That's how that lines up. Must have been almost right before my 1 year anniversary. Because your 12 months will be like a couple of days before my 2 year anniversary. Which actually has a schedule that's almost complete. I'm just missing like one time slot. Which is kind of incredible because I was really concerned I wouldn't be able to fill it. I know I've not specifically scheduled anything with you, Elfie, but I'm probably going to just leave you on the thumbnail image, just because in all likelihood you're going to be there anyway.
I'll be there chilling.
Imagine having a schedule. Honestly, like, not even joking. I really thought I was going to fucking wing it again, like I did with my birthday, which was dog shit. So I'm glad I actually have plans this time. And I actually went out of my way to, like, message people and say, hey, this is a thing that's happening. Would you like to be involved? Although I tried to do it as a group DM and then realized you can only do it up to 10 people, and I couldn't limit it to 10 people, so... And then had the fun job of individually messaging everyone.
You did it.
Yeah.
Nami has become so pretty. Nami, you're so pretty. Sorry, I'm distracted by my beautiful snakes. And you're just so pretty. Yes.
Schedule for your anniversary stream? I'd recommend it. It's a good idea to sort of just have a structure of sorts.
Well, yeah, I had a schedule for my anniversary stream.
What, is your schedule already done?
No, for last year, I mean.
Alright.
I had a schedule.
I was there for that, wasn't I?
Yeah. Wait, or did I have a Oh, I think I had... Maybe I had a schedule for the... I had one for the... I know I had one for the birthday stream. Oh, that's fine, Briar. I will probably also not make it.
I was gonna say...
I'm also not a 24-hour stream kind of person.
Yeah, I mean, I there's no way in hell I'm gonna make it 24 hours. The whole reason I messaged so many people about it is just so that I could potentially have like a rolling sort of people come in, people go kind of thing, so it won't be the same people through the whole thing. So there might be some times where there's only like 1 or 2 people in the voice call. There could be a moment when there's like 7. I don't know. I've tried to organize the more interesting, well, I suppose it's interesting to me, but interesting parts for later in the day so that the Americans will be awake for it. No worries, Brian. Take care. They didn't want you, that's fine, didn't want to end up doing AI stuff. Yeah, silver linings and all is not sort of working yourself into a position where you end up doing stuff you don't actually want to be involved with. Morally or ethically. Seems like a solid plan to me. Developing GPU drivers for Linux. Ooh. Funky. €80,000 a year plus benefits, and you don't have to do something that's ethically dubious. Sounds like a big fucking win in my bag. My bag? My book. Get in the bag. Oh, and it's work from home. Oh, fucking hell, that sounds fantastic then. Quite know how much it's worth waiting for. We'll go with this. This should be significantly more successful. JS for our got you. Is this like Command and Conquer? I mean, it's a real-time strategy game. Yes, it's in the same genre, but mechanically it plays a little differently.
See, I told you every RTS is the same.
I feel like you're gonna upset some game developers.
Sorry. If it makes you feel any better, I also think every shooter is the same.
Do you think every RPG is the same?
No, because that's my favorite genre, so that's the good one.
Oh, okay.
Also, there's like turn-based, and then there is the not turn-based one. Don't spray ball me!
You realize there are turn-based strategy games and the not turn-based ones as well. Is this AI or a human? I'm going to assume you're talking about what I'm fighting against, and it would be AI
Yes.
because this is the single-player campaign.
But I'm real, I'm not an AI.
Only the realist of Elfies.
Only the yeah, because I keep getting videos recommended of what's her name? Neurosama?
Oh yeah.
The AI VTuber.
Yeah, Neurosama.
What are you gonna do about it, huh? Honestly, nothing. I actually like to spray myself with a water bottle, especially when it gets hot.
Bob is very refreshing.
So refreshing.
Oh, why do you want my repair tanks up front? Oh no, they're trying. We having a good afternoon? Yeah, I'd hope so. Get away, you are too hot. I hope so. Yeah, I mean, I can say I'm having a good time, but I don't know about anyone else. That's up to them. Oh, I'm gonna need to refill my drink soon, though. Asking me? Oh, okay. Well, then yes, I'm having a good time. Thank you. Bob is having a real moment. They've still got scavenger bases up here. The fuckers. I think I got them pinned in pretty well, though. How are we doing on reinforcements? Slow but sure. Okay. Right, once we're doing that, let's keep an eye on shenanigans over here whilst I refill my drink. We go to the bathroom as well. Yummy!
Brr. 2 energy drinks and Primo screw to his second wind or something. I can't relate. I don't drink energy drinks. Monster Energy Ultra Fiesta. But isn't Fiesta a nap? No, that's a siesta. Never mind. Nobody listen to me.
Ah. Yeah, if you had a siesta energy drink, that'd be like an anti-energy drink. You take
Yeah, that's why I was confused.
You take a sip and then have a fucking nap. Let's try and get the repair trucks to the damaged tanks, because right now, unit pathfinding has said no.
Oh, I just learned something new about cats.
Go on.
When they like do the tail wiggle thing where it almost looks like they are gonna spray something, but they don't. It's just like a happy behavior.
Oh.
It's just they're very happy.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, because my cats often do that.
Oops. Part of the problem with the unit pathfinding in this game is I don't think the concept of reversing exists in this universe. No one knows how to go backwards. They have to turn around. I want one of those two. What, siesta in a can? Take a sip, have a nap.
Isn't that just sleeping pills?
I mean, basically, yes, but why not have it carbonated? Most of everything
Sometimes.
has been fully repaired. Sometimes?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Oh, right, yeah.
Barb's message.
Yeah, I just saw that. My bad.
I feel like sometimes it wakes me up more.
Oh, no, it's definitely a signal for time for sleep now.
Well, sometimes afterwards I'm like, okay, I'm ready now. All the horny thoughts. The horny thoughts have been purged. I'm ready to do shit now.
The evil has been defeated.
The evil has been defeated. The desire of the flesh has been purged.
Ooh, what's the goodie? What's the goodie?
Like one of those post-workout highs. You know, when you have a really good workout and afterwards you feel like you have more energy.
I can make proper tanks now!
Wait, are you telling me all of these little tanks were not tanks?
Well, they're half tracks. They're half tank, half wheel. Whereas I've just discovered the technology to make full tracks.
Ah. Continue until you are ready to sleep. I don't know.
Yeah,
I can.
I can't do that. That doesn't work like that for me.
Usually, I do it once and then I look at my phone. I'm like, oh, disgusting. Like I want to horny bonk myself from like 5 minutes ago. Why do I keep talking? I should stop talking about this.
I mean, I'm not going to stop you. You're not talking about something.
But
that's
maybe
like...
Twitch is.
No, Twitch doesn't give a fuck.
True.
I was going to say, if it's just talking, I don't think they care. It's like imagery they're mostly concerned with. Oh, Barb obviously missed out on the very, very extensive discussion we had regarding your interests.
Okay, but that was just my interest in fiction and not
Yeah, that's true.
Actual.
Oh, hello. That's not good.
Yeah, follow me on my channel where I usually don't talk about horny stuff. I just talk about horny stuff here. Very say-so on my channel. I feel like the term say-so kind of died out. Does anyone still use it?
Oh yeah, I think people do.
Oh.
Where are these guys coming from? Oh wow, that's a lot of heavy armor. Oh, so you keep your own nose clean.
Yeah. See, that's smart. I myself, I tend to be eloquent. I don't know when we'll ever see you again. Keep wanting to do morning streams, but then I spend too much time in bed.
See, my problem is I don't like getting out of bed that early anyway, and then on top of that, I feel like I don't really have an audience for the morning, or at least not the reasonable morning. It would have to be like super early to have any kind of audience.
Yeah, but I feel like, especially for art streams, like I do like to do morning art streams, but I'm sleepy.
Sleepy.
And then it's like it gets in later, and then I'm like, okay, now it's too late.
That's very kind of you, Barb. I know there is an audience, it's just a case of, like, the overwhelming majority of people that watch me are in US time zones. And especially, like, West Coast. So, if I start streaming at 10 o'clock in the morning, no one is fucking awake.
I know I have at least one viewer in New Zealand, so for them morning is a good time. Gotta look out for every single viewer, you know?
Yeah, a lot. If you're an English-speaking streamer, a good majority of your audience is gonna end up being American. There is no real way around that.
America, fuck yeah. To get rid of these lines.
Oh, no artifact from that? Fuck you, game. Do I have any repair tanks left, or are they all dead?
I don't know. Wait, let me check my thingy to see where my audience is.
I think all my repair tanks are dead. Oops.
Analytics, overview, research, discovery. Ah, 30% is in the United States.
Only 30? Really?
34. And then the rest is Germany, United Kingdom, Australia.
Okay, but is the US the largest, like, singular percentile?
Yeah.
Okay.
Denmark. I mean, for some of these, I know it's like one person. Like Denmark is Yamato, Portugal is Yuki. But now I wonder where the 40% Germany is, because I think I only know 2, 3. Okay. 3? Germany is you. And Micro Ice. And Rio, I think? Almost wish it was kind of bigger. Like at some point I would like to have like a German audience. I'm always jealous of the Philippine VTubers who can like stream bilingually because they have like a big
Oh, yeah.
English speaking audience and a big Filipino audience. I want that. But I do want at some point to start doing like German Vocaloid covers, so...
I mean, I think you should just straight up do German content for people. Like, people would watch that.
Yeah, I mean, I have done in the past when I played Borderlands with Micro Eyes. The problem is that I also get English viewers, and then it's very hard to like, when you have like English people in chat, and you know?
Yeah.
Difficult. You can trilingual stream and still there are only English people coming in. I mean, the fact is that many, like, people, even if they're German, will still speak English. Like, all my German friends, like, in the VTubing community, or the people that can't speak German, I still speak English with, even when we, like, DM each other.
South Korean viewers? Hell yeah.
Can you refund a game you have 100% achievements in?
Yes, it's
if
not...
you do it in under in 2 hours.
Yeah. It's not about, like, how much of the game you've played, it's just playtime. Because it's someone made, like, a game that's literally like, can you beat this in 2 hours and refund it? sure what that research just did for me. I want to find out.
Ready? Oh. Well, no, I almost feel weird that I only have such a little amount in the US. Maybe it is because I often stream so early. Denmark, Canada, Portugal, Singapore, Netherlands, New Zealand, Philippines, Finland, France, and Italy. Yeah, very, very European.
UK people were considered Barb too unpolite. I mean, what the fuck did they think of me then? Jesus. There you go. Consider you up my league. Up your league? As in, like, in your league? Or above it? One of those is wrong, and one of those is very wrong.
Wait, but UK people aren't that polite, are they? I think it's just the accent that makes people think that UK people are polite.
Also,
I thought the stereotype was that Canada was polite.
Well, I mean, it entirely depends on where in the UK you've gone.
I just know that, like, teenagers are weird everywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I guess people in general. I think that's what the internet taught me, that people are horrible everywhere and anywhere, regardless of country. And there are also nice people everywhere and anywhere.
Yeah. You finished your reactive PNG? Nice. It's now more insane? Oh my.
Beautiful.
1 minute repair refit. Fix everyone up. ASMR Max. Wait, what? Huh? I could some funny sounds being caught by my mic, now from Elfies. Oh, okay.
What?
We can hear you opening things and eating.
Oh, sorry. I'm eating cookies and milk. So many enemies. Why? One major downside to full tracked tanks is they are fucking slow. Oi, you. Yep, here. What am I looking at? Why is there a green dot there?
got 25 minutes before this mission ends and I lose, so let's keep fucking going. Why are the sensor trucks leading the charge? That is a bad idea. How much fucking health does this thing have? Jesus Christ. Die!
Damn, my friend who did my character design is prepping for their master thesis.
Ooh.
So smart. I was created by a genius. It's alive. I already thought I'm gonna make that
Oh, hello.
the thumbnail of my first rigging stream for this model. Like the Frankenstein thing. It's alive!
They give me a little more time, but no, still expect me to do this in about 20 minutes. Ooh, enemy headquarters.
The bunny is in the cat litter box.
Oh.
Which honestly is most like now a communal litter box. Oh no? What, that my bunny is in the cat litter box? Honestly, she poops in there more than the cats do. That's why I have 3 litter boxes, so... Oh, that you couldn't find... Oh. God, I was panicking for a second. I was like, what are you... It's like cat poop poisonous to cats?
Is cat poop poisonous to cats?
To bunnies, I mean. I think it's kind of like a domination, not domination, like whenever we do the like full cleaning, like the complete cleaning, it's like always who gets to poop in there first and like kind of make it smell the most like them.
because all three of them are like, you know, the place needs to smell like me for
Yeah.
territory reasons. Yeah, but for some reason, Juno actually likes to poop in like cat litter, and my cats really like to poop in like, you know, rodent, like the little wood chips for rodents. As long as I poop in a litter box, I don't care which one.
Yay! Artifact! Give me the goods, give me the goods. Research module.
Is it possible that Spain is older than Germany? I mean, that depends on how you judge the age of a country.
What?
Because we used to be the Holy Roman Empire, I think, which was basically Germany.
How does that have anything to do with temperature?
Oh, colder! I misread that as older!
That's why I was like, what? That doesn't have any bearing on temperature at all. What are you on about? Oh my god.
I told you I need new glasses.
Jesus Christ, you do. Oh shit, my ice machine's still going.
Support me on Twitch and Coffee so I can buy myself new glasses. I mean, they're like the Greenland shark gets very old and it lives in an area that's very cold, and that has to do with it getting very old because it's like cold and slow. I do need a sugar mama. I'm sugar baby, the real sugar baby.
I'm missing something. Let me see what my objectives are.
I had the same thought when Max started playing. We need to plan another collab.
One enemy unit remaining, 2 enemy structures remaining. Where?
I actually don't know if I want to play more Guild Wars 2. I don't know.
I'd never asked how your stream with it went.
What's good was kind of, I don't know. I think I just, I don't know. I think my problem is that I'm so used to FF14. I have a hard time adjusting. Oh no, I'm not afraid. I'm just, you know, I would love to play more games with you, but maybe,
It just
maybe
doesn't
something.
just doesn't have to be that one. I mean, Barb's
Yeah.
generally pretty open-minded when it comes to like trying new games. I mean, shit, she tried Nebulous on the strength of wanting to play with me, so pretty sure there's another game she tried just simply because I was like, hey, do you want to try playing this?
Wait, we should definitely plan another Beyond Our Reason collab.
Sure. Oh.
Aww, Bob, I like you too. Friendship!
Yay.
So my Final Fantasy 14 streams are just me yelling, friendship! Been watching a lot of like videos about Discord lately, and like I realized that I really don't know anything about Discord culture and stuff.
Discord culture in what sense?
Yeah, no, you know, people that are obsessed with badges and dating and I don't know.
Just sounds frightening.
Yeah, because I'm also not part of like I don't usually join very big Discord servers. So like all my Discord servers are like VTuber friends.
I was gonna say, like, the overwhelming majority of mine are either people I know, or at least they're like relatively niche interests, like very specific video games.
Oh yeah, I have like one for I'm on one for Final Fantasy 14 Bard midis. Because when you're a Bard you can play a thing, and then when you use a program you can load midis into it, and then you can play.
Do you mean MIDI?
MIDI!
I think I'm convinced it's.
I'm pronouncing it the German way. Fuck you.
Oh, is that? Oh, okay.
That's also my argument whenever when I say GIF instead of GIF. Like I don't care what your opinion is. It's in German it's GIF. So. I'm ruthless. As someone who has done a lot of e-dating, that shit is overrated. I just think it's scary.
I mean, I don't necessarily know if I've done what most people would consider e-dating. Like, I have dated people that I got to know on Discord, but that kind of wasn't the initial purpose of talking to these people in the first place. And I've done, like, more traditional online dating, and that fucking sucked.
I mean, my brother met his wife online.
I mean, I'm not saying like it can't work for people, because obviously it can.
Yeah. I'm just.
Yeah, but for me, nah.
As a lesbian, I'm just always terrified that it's like a guy with a lesbian fetish who tries to catfish. And also, I'm just like a shy, anxious being when it comes to romance.
Oh god, 8 minutes, and I'd have wasted all of that time. Holy shit.
My one girlfriend on OkCupid. And the other on Twitter? Damn.
Commander, you have driven the new paradigm from this zone. To ensure that we continue to hold it against further enemy attacks, establish a forward base on the plateau. Be prepared for enemy counterattacks. Examination of the captured structure reveals that the synaptic link technology was present at this structure, but was removed by the enemy. Once the forward base is established, we'll continue the search for it. Mission timer activated. Production completed. Enemy transport detected. Incoming enemy transport.
Yeah, I tried OkCupid, I tried Plenty of Fish, I tried Tinder. Yeah, it didn't pan out. There's a thing called dating friends that has less pressure because you know it's leading nowhere and you both have a great time hanging out with each other as it was a date with a stranger. I feel like I'd need some time to wrap my head around that.
Maybe I just live the idol life. You know, when idols are not allowed to have any relationships because they belong to the people.
I feel like in today's society they would call that coping.
No! Elfie doesn't date. Elfie belongs to the people. Makes heart shape with hands. Daisuke!
Badu? Badu is not one I've heard of before.
Do they just wanted to pay me? Damn.
I'm kind of in that weird position where it's like, I understand the disappointment of only being wanted for a physical relationship, and then it's like, damn, I wish I was wanted for a physical relationship. Why aren't you moving?
It's overrated.
I
mean, you could just make VTuber thirst traps on TikTok.
Not really my kind of content, is it? Like...
Wait.
What?
Huh?
What?
They made... I think they made an official English version of Idol. Like, Yoasobi made an official English version. Why is it every time I try to draw a cat, it looks like a bunny? See, cats have triangle ears and bunny have big rounded ears. Hope that helps. Is it weird that the fan-made English lyrics sound better than the official English lyrics?
Sometimes that's the case. Wait, where the fuck is that going? Oh. God, for a second I thought it was about to land on the lower plateau, and I was about to say, you motherfuckers!
You're welcome. I should be an art teacher. I mean, I guess when I worked at a daycare, I did help kids to draw cats, so...
Hiccups.
Oh, that reminds me, I still haven't watched the newest Oshinoko episode.
I've heard people yelling about it, so it's probably good.
Hmm?
Oshinoko, the latest episode, I've seen people saying it's very good.
Ooh, I mean, the last episode ended on like a whoof.
Yeah, I think they had to. It was interesting they decided to put all their kind of like content warnings after the thing that happened.
I mean, it was like fine. It was like it didn't happen, but there was an attempt. You know?
Yeah,
You know?
I know. I didn't watch it, but I read up the episode synopsis.
Curious what people were screaming about.
Well, just the specifics. Like, I got the impression of what they were screaming about. It was the context and like actual content of it that I was.
But I feel like they handled it very well, because sometimes it comes off as a little tone deaf.
Yeah.
You know? But no, that was very like, yeah, that made sense that happened. And also very realistic, because yeah, it's the show very good about like just being an entertainer in the time of the internet.
Yeah.
And people judging you only of the stuff they see of you, like on like shows or the internet, despite not knowing what like actually, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, Oshinoko, good, very good show. Heavy but good.
Heavy but good. The official Elfie review.
Yeah. Also very pretty art style. Ooh, 90 griffin vultures have hatched this year in the Rabdopi Mountains.
Nice.
It's a new record. A milestone for the local rewilding team. As a result, represents another step towards the comeback of these magnificent birds. I love following accounts that post like positivity about
Conservation.
Conservation, yes.
I like heavy shows. Yeah, this is why I'm not watching Oshinoko's, because despite how good I know it probably is, I just don't think I could necessarily handle the weight of that kind of content right now.
Yeah, it's almost like it depends on like the kind of heaviness. And
Yeah.
that show is the kind of heaviness I can handle. I hope. I mean, I remember I had to quit watching. God, what was that show called? The very pretty show with like the blonde girl who had a robot arm and did typewriting stuff.
Oh, Violet Evergarden.
Violet Evergarden. Yeah, I had to stop that after episode, I don't remember, 6, because I bawled my eyes out so much. I was like, oh no.
See, I feel like I got through that. Like, whilst obviously yes, it was very affecting, it didn't feel quite so relatable.
Yeah, I think that's always the thing. Like, how much do you relate to a problem?
Yeah.
And there was one episode that I related very hard to, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. Whereas something like Oshinoko, I feel like would be a little too close to home at times. Particularly regarding like valuing your self-worth and comparing yourself to others constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Barb, I think it would be very safe for you to not watch Oshinoko.
Yeah. I'll just scream about it and you can like absorb.
Yeah, enjoy it via proxy.
Yeah, exactly. I think my biggest problem with the show so far is that there's one character that likes the protagonist for no reason, and it's very much like
But why?
harem vibes, kind
Oh.
of like where the male lead is like not interested in any romance, and like one of the girls likes him for some reason.
Right.
It's like, why? I'm glad that the female lead is his sister, so there can be no romance.
Well,
They can, but the show is good enough to not have that.
well, I don't know about good, you know. I don't want to watch a show about my life I cry enough IRL. Yeah, that's the gist of it, really.
But I do recommend listening to the opening and ending because the music on the show is very good. I mean, both were made by like two of my favorite musicians, so.
Is there an Elfie cover? I imagine at some point there
Not
probably will be.
yet,
Hmm.
but. So probably like at least those will appear on a karaoke stream at some point.
Oh yeah, for sure. Ah!
Briefing commences.
Build defensive structures until green blip objective disappears. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I'm not, like, running this timer down for no reason. But the green blip already disappeared. Brilliant. Okay.
Okay, the new episode is also heavy. Big surprise. Also,
Well, I would imagine it would be dealing with the immediate aftermath of what just happened in the previous one, so...
yeah. Hold on, I need to fact. They said a fact, and I need to fact check that.
Enemy transport detected. Construction completed.
Oh, fuck. Oh, so apparently they tackling like not only like oh shit.
Elaborate?
Yeah, so apparently the dating show, like reality dating shows are tough. And many countries require the cast members to undergo counseling. because when
Reality
people
shows are
judge you
rough.
just because when people just judge you based on what they saw of you on a reality show and how the producers cut it to make it the most dramatic, sometimes they might get a bad impression of you.
Hmm.
And apparently some people cannot handle that, and
Understandably so.
yeah. I mean, I never liked reality shows.
God, I remember when the Big Brother boom happened and all the reality TV shows jumped on that bandwagon.
Yeah, but now like Netflix also pumps out a bunch of reality shows.
Mm.
Like a bunch of dating shows. Then there's Drag Race, which also is now going all around the country. Not the country, the world. Like there's Australia Drag Race, and many drag queens have spoken out how fucking tough it is and how they treat you on that show.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
I think that's part of like why VTubing has taken off, because if you're like anonymous and also partly playing a character,
Hmm.
it's like a good way to protect yourself.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the reason why the bigger VTubers have such a priority on security and like anonymity.
Hmm.
They
Ooh, cat
need that.
sketch.
They need that divide.
Mm-hmm. No, cute kitty.
Kitty cat, kitty cat, kitty cat. Oh, kitty cat.
Oh, kitty cat. Oh, that kitty has some beautiful eyelashes.
I will look at it after my stream. What?
It's so wholesome. It's
What?
so the last episode. So I'm watching the new episode.
Oh, okay.
And like one girl was bullied because they thought she like injured another girl on the show, but it was like an accident. But everyone online thought she did it on purpose. But like immediately afterwards, they like made up. The one girl apologized and was like, they had literally no beef, but all the entire internet thought, oh, she's such a horrible person because she injured her, and like she's a model and now she has like a scratch on her face. And now that they're just reunited, she was like, why did you worry me like that? And they're like so sweet together, and it's very wholesome. There's no rivalry between these two, and I just like when the female characters support each other. We like women supporting women. Okay.
Yay! I'm doing a winning!
Commander, we are picking up incoming transmissions at this location. Decoding in progress.
Oh hey, it's Dickhead Supreme.
No.
Nexus. The synaptic technology you required has been recovered and sent for collection. Message ends.
Commander, board the transport and scout the designated area for the enemy research facilities. Once identified, proceed to LZ number 2 for pickup. Do not engage the enemy at this time. Mission timer activated. Construction completed.
Oh, I think the main character is about to kill the internet.
He's like, these people suck. And you know how? Have you seen how the main characters have like a star in their eyes?
Yeah, see, this is the thing that actually is probably one of the things that's driving me away from watching it, is because I liked the look on the mother when she, because I assumed it was like an effect for when she was performing, like it would display as like part of her...
No, it's genetic.
Yeah, I know. And then it was like, oh no, their kids have it as well, and it's just constant, and I'm like, I can't take this seriously anymore.
I liked it because every time the main character gets like serious, the star turns black. And it's like, oh shit's about to go down.
I kind of assumed it was like a representation of the kind of the idol front, you know, that the characters put up.
Yeah, it starts like glowing when they do different stuff.
Yeah, I know, but like I assumed it would not be there when they're buying milk or something at the shops.
No, it's still there, and nobody is like, hey, are you related to that?
I know, and that's kind of for whatever reason, my suspension of disbelief cannot get past that.
Sure. As a VTuber who, I mean, you've seen what I've done with my eye on my new model.
Oh yeah,
I like
exactly,
when
yeah.
There's a bunch of sparkly bits in the eyes. But I mean, I also like the old shoujo art style, you know, the really old where they just everything was sparkly.
True, yeah. Wait, where's my repair? Oh, there it is.
Construction completed. Construction completed. Construction completed.
No research to do. Boy.
Construction completed.
You can go to a gay bar when you're not massively overworked and exhausted.
Yeah, maybe sleep first. Dream about going to a gay bar.
Yeah.
I rarely have gay dreams. Usually my dreams are just about getting more pets or my pets having babies, so I have more pets.
Just put a
I have
collar on someone
animals.
and there you go, you have another pet.
I know. I have a tunnel between like the rug she likes to lie on and like a pillow she likes to nap on. And she likes to run through that tunnel and it's very cute. Sad gay dreams, oh no. I sometimes have fucked up straight dreams and I always panic in them because I'm like, no, this is wrong.
God. That sounds nightmarish.
Yeah, I have straight nightmares. There's heterosexual stuff happening in my nightmares. Oh god, oh no. My gay dreams are usually good. One time I had a good. Sometimes I have good straight dreams because that's usually about like my fictional OTPs that happen to be straight.
Construction completed.
How is this tank alive? It has, 22 hit points out of 1,000.
It's enough. You know, it's like the healers in MMOs are like the only HP you need is 1.
Yeah. I think the trope is referred to as critical existence point or something like that, where it's like your existence is entirely determined by that 1 or 0.
Construction completed.
Pros or not, 17-year-olds are dumb kids who make mistakes. Thank you. The show is speaking truth.
Production completed. Production completed.
Oh no! Can you use fuzzy select or magic wand to remove it? Because that's what I've had to do in the past.
Oh, the pain. Oh, the misery. Every single layer is my enemy. I mean, that's like the nice thing about vector layers, because you still can like every line is still like an individual item that you can separate.
Production.
Ah.
Construction completed.
I do love nature bugs and small gremlin lesbians.
But that's
Damn,
you.
I wish I could. Yeah, can I follow myself?
I mean, Twitch does give you a permanent tier 3 sub to your own channel.
Yeah, it's so good. I do like supporting myself.
Let's see what you made happen this month as a subscriber of Elfie. Yes, show me, what did I do? Oh, during April, I only streamed 2 hours. Elfie streamed 1 time this month. I need to make new sub badges because I still have like sub badges I got on, I think on Etsy. Make new bid and sub badges. Custom ones. Damn, you already follow Elfie, she's amazing. I know, right? I think so too. I'm trying to have the confidence of like alpha males, and I think it's working. But like without the misogyny.
Yeah, that's generally an advantage.
Like I'm the best, and I also love women, so.
Well, I mean, alpha male types don't love women. They love possessions.
Yeah. And there's always like there's like 2 kinds of alpha males. The ones where it's like, if you have a girlfriend, she will take all your money. And then there's like the, you know, the pickup artist kind. They think that that every woman is like a video game NPC.
Yeah.
And if they just use the right option in a conversation, they can sleep with her. Baby Rufus Hummingbird. Oh my god. It's doing a peep.
Peep.
Sometimes YouTube knows what I want. I do want a rescued hummingbird going peep.
Peep, peep, motherfucker.
Okay, a hummingbird getting bottle fed is so funny because it's like a bottle with a big hole they can just put their beak into and lick up all the sugar water.
Amazing.
Mm.
That's art.
That is it. I'm gonna put this video in the animals channel. 'Cause I need people to see the peep. Hummingbirds always seem like they're like about to have a heart attack, but they just go really fast. Like,
Kind of do wonder how their heart is able to handle the strain of existing.
I don't know. Wait. Hummingbird heartbeat. No, not the song from apparently. No, Katy Perry has a song called Hummingbird Heartbeat. No.
Oh, yes, she does, doesn't she?
Yeah, but that's not what I wanted to know. Hummingbirds are speedy little creatures. Ruby-throated hummingbirds flap their wings at a blurry and tough to photograph rate of 50 times per second.
Jesus fuck. Wow, that made my eyeballs vibrate and my whole screen shook when I did that.
Hummingbirds' heart beats at an astonishing rate, typically 500 or 1,200 beats per minute.
Jesus fuck.
Wait, what is a human?
You call that having an anxiety attack? Check this shit out.
Human heartbeats per minute.
It's usually like
60 to 100.
Yeah, I was gonna say the average range. I would.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, and like the lowest. Oh yeah, humans in comparison having a resting heart rate of 72 beats per minute.
I was gonna say I knew the average was above 60, but not by much.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hummingbirds are built differently.
Well, yes, because they're also a fraction of our size.
Yeah, they're very tiny, and they have the weirdest metabolism where they drink like a bunch of sugar and then they just crash.
Ah, so they are 17-year-old children.
Yes. Hummingbirds require around 3 to 8 calories per day. Oh my god.
A human heart can go up to 146 beats per minute. You haven't seen me at the gym yet, Sunshine. Pretty sure the last time I was there, I topped out at about 180 plus.
Damn.
I am not healthy.
But translating that into human terms, it means consuming 155,000 calories.
Wow.
Is that a lot? I'm guessing.
Yes.
Oh, because they eat so much, hummingbirds also have to digest quickly. They can move a spider through their system in less than 15 minutes.
Jesus. Yeah, like, I mean, a military 24-hour ration, so for a soldier, like, going through daily combat and survival and stuff, usually is around 3,500 to 4,000 calories.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, even the winter rations, so for soldiers in Arctic climates, they usually only go up to about 5,000, maybe 6,000 at the absolute maximum.
Wait, why is the video in this article is not of a hummingbird, but a hummingbird moth? You know those moths that, like, look like hummingbirds?
I don't think I'm massively familiar with them.
They're like moths, but they look like hummingbirds. Hummingbird moth. Like, imagine a hummingbird, but with antennae, and instead of a beak, they have a proboscis. I will send you a picture,
Thank you.
whether you want to or not. And they also, like, fly the same. Like, from far away, it's very hard to tell them apart. Because you just see something small and fast hovering from flower to flower. But they're very pretty and very cute.
It's going to take me longer than I've got left on this stream to do the next objective, so I'm going to call it there. Oh. Okay.
That was a nice learning about hummingbird stream.
Okay, so next up today at 7, I could read time. At 7 PM, we will be back, very much likely in Blender, for continuing shipbuilding for Nebulous. Otherwise, I'm going to say thank you very much to everyone that came today. It was lovely to see you all, and thank you to Elfie for hanging out in VC with me.
Hee hee.
Yeah, I will be back in just over 2 hours for Blender Nebulous stuff. But otherwise, please enjoy the rest of your day, or sleep well if you're already at the end, and I will see you later. Until then, take care, and goodbye.
Bye bye.